financial problems, elder law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by Thav Gross. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's show is going to be called Common Mistakes When Trying to Get Out of Debt. Jenny Lingle, good morning. I know ladies first. You always are important to say for me to say that.
Good morning, Ken. Good
How
to
are
be
you?
here. Good.
Pat Simasko back again, our elder law expert. How are you?
Good, thanks for having me.
And then there's Brian Small, my
Cheery partner.
compatriot in crime and honor.
Good morning, Ken. Pleasure to be here this morning.
So today's expression, what I want to deal with is, what are the common mistakes that we deal with about trying to get out of debt? And I've identified a couple. And the first one is
You could only identify
the
a
word
couple?
tomorrow.
That's a good
Everybody
one.
thinks in terms of, you're right, I've got to take care of this problem, and I'm going to take care of it tomorrow. And tomorrow keeps getting put off on, and that's the mistake. You've got to commit to something to do. If you know it's the right thing to do, you can't wait till tomorrow. You got to act on it.
You know what the definition of insanity is, don't you? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result?
That's a good point.
Isn't
How does that tie in with you guys calling me Rain Man at times?
Well, we won't get into that. We don't have enough time.
No, the difference is when you're a Rain Man, you do the same thing over and over again, and you expect the same result, and you're
Okay.
happy with it.
Very good. Okay, we'll give you that.
All right, I have a couple expressions that I want to use to illustrate this issue. First, let's quote Ben Franklin. A penny saved is a penny earned. Now, this is an expression all of us heard as our kid. We heard it from our parents and our grandparents.
Yeah, sure.
I did. I never could understand it. I used to sit there and say, what is the big deal about a penny and saving a penny? What's it going to get me? It took me a while to understand it, and I really didn't understand it until I'd say in the last 3-4 years. Here's how I look at it. If you're at the point in your life where you spend the same amount of money every month, your expenses are the same, you're not always if your income goes up or you have more money, it doesn't mean you're going to spend more, you're going to spend the same. If you're in that situation, every penny you don't spend goes into savings and starts accumulating wealth. And I think that's what my grandfather and Ben Franklin were trying to say to us. But when I was 11 years old, it didn't mean a heck of a lot. But now I understand it. But I'm going to give you a different one when it comes to eliminating debt. And that's a penny paid in interest is $5 lost. That's a little bit different than a penny saved is a penny earned. I'm saying one penny is losing $5.
Okay, please
And now,
explain your math, because I would love to understand. I mean, I could see a penny being, if there's interest, 2 cents, but how does it get to be $5?
500 times. Here we go.
500 times.
We're going to use a case study. Our fictional clients are Donald and Melania.
Where did you come up with those names?
Just trying to think of names where things change, and things have changed around here, and now we have a Donald and Melania, and maybe their finances have changed one day too. Who knows? But let's see. Our Donald and Melania have $40,000 of credit card debt. They're paying 29% interest on that debt.
Does it get that high? 29%?
It can go to 50%.
Really?
And just you watch, as we're into this new era of rising interest rates, those rates are going to start going
Wow.
up. Because we know one thing, bank margins need to stay the same. So if their cost of the money is going to go up, then they're going to have to pass that number on to us.
If you are a high-risk borrower, the majority of your credit cards are going to be at between 25 and 29% interest.
And
So that-
Donald, having had a few bankruptcies, is considered a high-risk
I
borrower.
bet, yeah.
In jest. 29% interest, $40,000 of credit card debt. That's $11,600 annually in interest. $11,600 divided by 12 is $966 per month. Hold on to that number. Now, if you take the $966 per month and you invest it at 7 and earn 7% interest on that money, in 10 years you'll have $167,316. In 20 years you're going to have $503,363. Now, I take the $503,000, I divide it by the 966.66, and that equals 521. That means the 966 times 521 is the $503,563, and that's 500 times your money over 20 years. That's why one penny paid in interest is $5 over 20 years at 7% interest.
It's incredible. It's incredible. These banks are stealing from us left and right.
It's not just the banks. We're the fools too. Everyone out there, and it's so easy to do. The month that you pay the $966 on your credit cards, if you have $40,000 of credit card debt in that interest, you're not sitting there saying, in 20 years, if I wasn't giving the money to them, I'd have $500,000. But if you did say that to yourself, then there would be a reason to not say tomorrow and wait. You'd say, I'm going to go and do what I have to do today to get rid of this debt so I have that $500,000 in retirement. That's the important thing that people need to realize, and it's something that you're able to do if you just take action and do it.
Can I ask one question real quick?
You bet.
What bank's paying 7% interest? Because I want to go open up an account right now.
Banks are not, but in the market, invested the right way, on an average return,
It's Masco Financial.
Let's say you can get, there you go, you can get that 7% interest.
I'm assuming
you
we're
can get 0.5% at the bank.
I'm assuming we're going to talk about how we get rid of that credit card debt.
We are, but the most important thing is realize the importance of getting rid of it first, and then you're going to be motivated. It's getting people to realize what they're wasting their retirement that's critical. Bobby Kennedy, favorite quote, "If not now, when?" That's the whole key of getting rid of this tomorrow mentality. We'll be back after the break.
It's devastating, the effects of debt and foreclosure on you and your family. There is a solution.
Worth Ave Gross, our firm will solve your problem. Some fear the word bankruptcy, but in reality, it's a strategy to save your home and to eliminate debt. If you're in financial trouble, timing is critical. You need to take action now. We've been saving homes and eliminating debt for over 33 years.
Call Fav Gross 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Fav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Fav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your savings, and more. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Samasco Law wants you to know that laws are changing. Today, the average cost of nursing home care is $85,000 a year. With proper planning, we can help protect your life savings and get you the Medicaid and nursing home benefits you deserve.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Samasco Law today.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Fav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Worth Ave Gross, our firm will solve your problem.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
Worth Ave Gross, our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call Fav Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call Thav Gross today, 888-235-HELP.
We're talking about common mistakes people end up addressing when they're trying to get out of debt. And here's my second one: listening to the wrong person. You've got all of these professionals out there that pretend or portray themselves as being the right answer to solving the problem. And I kind of call them the know-it-alls who don't really know it all.
Well, that's because they're the limiteds.
Limited.
The limiteds. You see, when you go and you have a debt problem and you go see a bankruptcy attorney, you know what they're going to provide you with? Advice
Bankruptcy.
on bankruptcy. That's all. When you go to a debt settlement
What about if
company,
you go to Jerry the bartender?
oh, well, we'll talk
That's
about
the problem. They go to the guy's friend's cousin.
Jerry's
He's
going to
not
pour
quite
you
the
a
professional,
really
right?
good drink. But the reality is when you go to a debt settlement company, all they can do is provide you with debt settlement services. When you go to see a short sale specialist, all they do is sell houses. At the end of the day, if you can get an appointment and go see all of them before you make a decision,
then you might be able to arrive at the right decision.
No.
Oh, wait, you know what?
still won't arrive at the right decision because you're still dealing with individuals who only know one angle of their job. They can't tell you how they all work together.
So you're getting the one who's on the most extreme in favor of his own position always. It's kind of like watching CNN, and you're going to get the extreme left, you're going to get the extreme right, and you're not going to get the right answer from either one. You're just going to get two extreme positions.
That's why here we're different. By specializing in financial crisis management, we
do
look
all
at
of
the
them.
whole thing. We take the whole problem and we look at all of the solutions, and we're not interested in finding the most expensive solution. We're more interested in finding the client the right solution.
Good point. But now can we get back to what people say and that?
Sure.
I'm going to throw one out to you. I have a whole bunch of them out here, and let's just react. You don't want to harm your credit score. This is the things people hear all the time. You're sitting there in debt, but you're being blasted with, you don't want to harm your credit score. You always say, credit scores heal.
They do.
Here's my take. When Donald passes away and meets his maker, on his tombstone, does he want it to say, here lies Donald, he died broke, but his credit score was 720?
That's what our seniors are facing right now because they're on a limited income, and Medicare and Blue Cross premiums are going up dramatically. So they have to decide, do they pay their credit card debt or do they stop paying their health insurance premium? And these seniors, they just can't stand not paying their
Because they're
debt.
so worried about their credit score. I used to have this fight with my father.
Yeah, every day.
What about my credit score?
Right.
What do you need your credit score for? You're 88 years
Right.
old. What if I need to buy a car? He went and bought a car when he was 88 years old after not making a credit card payment for 2 years. When I stopped paying his bills, they'll always loan you money to buy a car, even when you're 88. And then your chances of living out the term to pay for the car are what? Less than slim and none.
So
It's a lot of insanity. out there.
your reality with regard to seniors who have a lot of debt and have their expenses keep going up while they're on a fixed income is that because they're old school, and old school being work hard, pay your bills, and all good things will happen to you, they're going to start having to make choices. And they make, unfortunately, a lot of times what I see is the wrong choice. They will stop buying food at the grocery store.
terrible.
They'll turn the heat down to 50 degrees at night or during the day. They will suffer instead of just doing the right thing, which for them should be eliminating the credit card debt so that their money goes further. See, they never expected the
caught up
Medicare
on 'em,
costs and all those other costs to go up so much
Yeah.
that they wouldn't be able to live.
Let me give you a couple more. If you filed bankruptcy, you don't want to listen to this message. That's the commercial you always hear. This goes to what you're saying. The person who's saying that is advocating debt settlement as a strategy to get rid of debt. Debt resolution that we sometimes do, which is different than debt settlement, can be a viable strategy, but the smart strategy is figure out all your options, like you were saying before, Brian. How do you eliminate the debt the fastest way at the least possible cost? These commercials are trying to steer you away from bankruptcy by saying it's some kind of bad slap in the face and a label. But the bottom line is, Is it smarter to get out of debt at $20,000 or $30,000 of cost over 2 to 3 years? Or is it better to get out of debt at a cost of $1,500 in 3 months? So then that $20,000, $30,000 that you were taking to settle, you end up using it and saving it for yourself. There's other smart strategies you need to look at them. Jenny, here's one for you. You can eliminate your tax debt for pennies on the dollar.
That's true if you qualify for the offer and compromise program, but what I always do when I analyze whether they qualify for an offer is I also do a bankruptcy analysis, and we discuss which one will be better for their specific situation.
Because sometimes you can discharge the debt in bankruptcy.
Absolutely.
And then the offer and compromise, even when it works, is a great thing, but you got a 5-year stay clean rule, right?
Right, and it only handles your tax debt. If you have credit card debt or other debt, it may make sense to file the Chapter 7 to handle everything as opposed to piecemealing it.
Here's one that you see a lot, and it's the nonprofits say, you can get help. We will put you on a budget and lower the interest you pay through debt consolidation. What does debt consolidation accomplish? It says it gets you to pay all of your debt back over a long period of time at slightly less cost than paying it at 29% interest. But if you pay it all back over 5 years, instead, what I'd rather have you do is get rid of the debt, so instead of paying it all back, you start putting that money away from savings. If you know that you're going to live to 150 and you got another 75 years to solve your problems, great. But if you think you might not be around past 90, you need to take action to get rid of that debt. You can take a loan from your 401k, Brian, or cash out your IRA and pay off your bills. What do you think of that idea?
Well, I think that's a very poor idea. I think that the reality is that no creditor can ever get to your 401k or your IRA, ever. They are not attachable by creditors. So why would you go take money?
Except the IRS.
That no one, except for the
Except
IRS.
Jenny's IRS.
Why would you take
my
money
IRS.
from an asset that no one can get to pay debts?
We're going to talk about refinance as the next big scam. We'll be back after the break.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you're approaching retirement and don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your investments, and your savings. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Putting a solid strategy in place with Samasco Law legally protects your assets as well as your wishes. Since a will doesn't cover you medically or financially, Samasco Law goes beyond ordinary asset management protection to safeguard everything you have.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Samasco Law today.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Thav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Thav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call Thav Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call Thav Gross today, 888-235-HELP.
It's time for announcements. Want to remind our viewers to listen to us Tuesdays noon to 1 and 6 to 7 p.m. for Law and Reality Live on WCHB 1200 AM 99.9 FM. Thursdays from 3 to 4, Law and Reality Now with Cliff Russell on 9:10 a.m. We have a seminar coming up Wednesday, February 1st, 2017, 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m. This resolution means everything. I'm getting out of debt now. We're going to address the issues. It's a new year. It's time to act on what you've been saying you want to do. This is the opportunity. how to preserve future income for you and your family. It's not so much about getting rid of the debt, it's about realigning your life so that on a month-to-month basis, instead of writing a check for $700 to the credit card companies, you start depositing that money into your savings account because you've made the right moves to get rid of that debt. Strategies using bankruptcy, strategies outside of bankruptcy. Attendees get a free copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. Sign up at lawandreality.com, thavgross.com, or call 888-235-HELP. I want to remind our viewers that the websites have free reports. Pat Simesko has a free report on Social Security. There's a report on Reg X, how to save your home using the hidden secrets from foreclosure, and also a report on forming and starting a new business. I want to thank our sponsors, Thav Gross and Simesko Law. We'll be back after a brief message.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Thav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
It's devastating, the effects of debt and foreclosure on you and your family. There is a solution.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
Some fear the word bankruptcy, but in reality, it's a strategy to save your home and to eliminate debt. If you're in financial trouble, timing is critical. You need to take action now. We've been saving homes and eliminating debt for over 33 years.
Call Thav Gross, 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your savings, and more. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Simesko Law wants you to know that laws are changing. Today, the average cost of nursing home care is $85,000 a year. With proper planning, we can help protect your life savings and get you the medicated nursing home benefits you deserve.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Simesko Law today.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call Thav Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call Thav Gross today, 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Thav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Thav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
All right, we're talking about common mistakes when you're trying to get out of debt. Here's my next one, and I want to do an illustration. You can refinance your home and pay off those credit cards. And where it really gets me annoyed is you got the flag in the background, the veteran in his officer's uniform saying, we have a special program for veterans. If you have equity in your home, you can refinance your house at a reasonable interest rate and pay off all your debt, which is basically telling somebody who's in their 70s, refinance your home so that you now have a mortgage payment to get rid of your credit card debt, and it's like, we're doing this to you as a favor because you're a veteran. Now here's my example of why I don't like that. I'm not saying it's always wrong, but what I'm saying is you have to have your eyes open as to what's happening. We're going to let Donald and Melania take a trip and a vacation for now. We're going to talk about Al and Sarah. Al and Sarah have a home of $185,000 value. They have a $100,000 mortgage. They only have 10 years left on it. They've got $85,000 in equity. They got credit card debt of $60,000. Their monthly payment's $1,500. The bankers say you can refinance at 80% loan to value. Your payment will stay the same. But what they don't emphasize is now you owe that money for 30 years rather than for 10. So let's say they do that. On 185,000 at 80%, they can borrow 148. The loan to value is 148,000. Their mortgage is 100, so they're going to cash out 48,000 on the new loan. They take the 48,000 and they pay down against the $60,000 of credit card debt. You got 12,000 of credit card debt left. Now, there's an alternative. We call it debt resolution. This is assuming Al and Sarah, with their equity in their home and their income, they're not a candidate for a Chapter 7 or a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. $60,000 of credit card debt at a 2.5% factor for your monthly payment is $1,500 a month. If they're making those $1,500 a month payments, they can use that money to settle and resolve the credit card debt over our system of debt resolution, which is between 18 and 24 months. 45% is the average percentage factor of what it costs to settle the credit card debt and cover the attorney fees when we do debt resolution.
So they're knocking off half about. That's a general rule?
Right, as a general rule. 60,000 times 45% is $27,000. They're going to use that at $1,500 a month. It's going to take 18 months. Now let's compare where they're going to end up being if they refinance the home versus if they do debt resolution.
You know what I normally see in the refinance is they refinance, pay off the debt, and then rack up all the credit cards
That's
all over.
another total disaster, absolutely. After they refinance, if they refinance, they now have $12,000 of equity left in the home, or they have $25,000 in equity left. They have $185,000 less the 148 new mortgage. They still owe $12,000 in the credit cards. Their net is $25,000. Same thing on debt resolution, except now they have $185,000, $100,000 mortgage. They still have $60,000 of credit card debt. They're at $25,000 equity. But in 18 months, where are they going to be? In 18 months, on the refinance, they're going to have to take the $27,000, the $1,500 a month times 18. They're going to have to pay off the remaining credit card debt of $12,000, which is going to be $14,000 with interest. Their net worth is going to be $38,000. Whereas if they, in 18 months, if they pay off the credit card with the $27,000, their net worth is $85,000. Jump ahead another 18 months, and you save that remaining $1,500. You save it on the side of refinance and on debt resolution. The difference is when you refinance in 3 years, your net worth is going to be $65,000. When you do debt resolution, your net worth is going to be $112,000, and you're still going to have all of that equity in your home. You don't want to leverage out your home in your future, because what's our 3-point plan? You want to retire with a home owned free and clear. You want to have zero debt, and you want to have some money in the bank and savings. Retired people that refinance their home are making a big mistake. That's a wrap. We will be back next week with Law and Reality. Thanks for watching.